Good morning, everybody. It's time for the Merkle Retirement Minute. Loren Merkle joining us in studio, Michelle, and a lot of things that people are talking about. Of course, everybody realizes what is happening around the globe, and we're keeping an eye on many things, including what is happening to the stock market. And when we do that, we also have to talk about, we think about retirement.
Yeah, we sure do, and I think this is a good opportunity to first just thank the first responders and healthcare professionals, because they don't have all the options that we have from a social distancing standpoint, and they're the ones out there helping us. So big thank you to all the first responders and healthcare professionals. What people are waking up to this morning is when the stock market opens, it is going to be down, and it's going to be down big, right? So everything else going on, and then they see the stock market with the volatility that we've had last week, the last couple weeks, and then again this week. It's going to be a scary time for them.
Now, we're talking record-setting drops in the stock market, you think?
It's going to be near record-setting. I mean, to give you an idea of where we're at, last week, Thursday, the stock market was down about 10%. Friday, it was up near 10%. The last time we had 2 consecutive days with inclines or declines near 10% was 1929.
Wow.
To give you an idea.
That puts things in perspective.
To give you an idea of kind of where we're at, you're going to hear a lot about the big R word, which is recession. Now, we haven't had a recession since 2008. So when people hear about a recession, the last thing they're thinking about is the first thing they're thinking about is 2008. 2008 was absolutely devastating to a lot of people's lives. So when you hear about the recession, the impending recession coming up, first of all, it probably will happen, but it's not a time to panic. The recession means that we're going to have 2 negative quarters of GDP growth consecutive.
That's the definition.
But it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be anything like what we experienced last time. So all recessions are not the same. And in fact, on average, recessions happen, if we go all the way back to 1900, recessions happen on average every 4 years. So we're going to have many recessions over the next 20 years. And this recession that we probably will enter into doesn't have to be all that bad. In fact, there are opportunities to take advantage of the stock market volatility. And we just have to stay calm and make sure that we continue to fulfill the plans that we have already had in place. Now, if you don't have a plan, now's an excellent time to get one.
Okay, you mentioned a couple of quarters, a downward turn for a couple of quarters being the recession. How long does it take to kind of rebound from something like that in the past? How long is that usually taking?
Well, in the past, on average, recessions last about 14 months. The last one we had in 2008 lasted 18 months. Okay. I think if we actually do go through a recession, that is probably, we will probably rebound very quickly, because this would be an event-driven recession. The economy is still strong. There's a lot of good things about this economy. And I would anticipate that based on everything that we can see right now, the stock market will be volatile for some period of time. We anticipated a 2020 volatile stock market anyway. We didn't anticipate the coronavirus or the oil war, but we anticipated some type of volatility that was in excess of what we saw in 19 and even 18. But this recession, if we have one, I think the third quarter and fourth quarter of this year, we can come back really strong, and we might even be positioning ourselves for one of the best second half of the years that we have seen in a very long time.
So it really is a roller coaster ride.
This is not all doom and gloom. This is not all doom and gloom, and I think one of the big takeaways for your audience is this is not the time to panic. This is the time to reevaluate the plan you've already had in place. If you don't have a plan, put a plan in place, because if you have an effective plan that works well for you based on your situation, now you can implement some of the strategies that you've already been thinking about implementing, or you can come up with new strategies based on what's taken place from an event standpoint right now.
All right. What are some of the methods we could use to try to help our cause along?
There's a lot of consumer debt. So one of the things with interest rates so low is refinance your consumer debt. So if you have a mortgage, if you have credit cards, interest rates are going down near record lows. Take advantage of that opportunity. The Fed is just pumping billions of dollars into the economy to keep the banks able to lend. Okay. So refinance, take advantage of these low interest rates. With the market volatility like we're seeing, when the market last week the market was down about 27% from the highs. Wow. This week it could be 30 to 35% from the highs. So this is an opportunity, if it makes sense from a tax standpoint to do some Roth conversions, then this is an opportunity to take some money from your pre-tax bucket, move it over to the Roth side, because eventually in the third quarter when this market rebounds, all that appreciation is going to be tax-free. So you pay tax on the money when it's low, the account value as well as the tax rates, and then when we get all that appreciation, you have all of that tax-free. You never have to pay taxes on it again. So you just need to make sure that that works for you from a tax perspective, and then from a tax-free growth standpoint, it could work really well long-term.
Yeah, we mentioned in the past that things like this are on sale, and that really opens up a lot of eyes and ears when that happens.
For the last 2 years, within our planning, we have been expecting volatility of this nature. So what we've been doing is we have been taking some profits off the table when the accounts are directionally high, when the markets are directionally high. So we have this money that's safe. If you are like that and you have this money that's safe, and it's retirement planning type money, now may be an opportunity to consider taking a piece of that money and putting it into the markets while it's low.
Right.
Now you want to make sure you do this strategically, and you want to do it with intention. It's not necessarily a great idea to just take all this money and dump it right away, but if you can do it incrementally, systematically over time, that's called dollar cost averaging, it can have a huge positive impact for really decades to come. I mean, really the decisions that people make over the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to either positively impact them or negatively impact them for many years to come. And that's an important takeaway. 2008, what we saw is a lot of people going to cash. Accounts were down 30–35%, and they went to cash. And that negatively impacted them for the next decade. And a lot of people didn't ever recover from that type of decision. So it's important right now to keep our heads, right, not panic, and then make sure we're making good short-term and long-term decisions, because the decisions we make over the short term will impact us in a positive or negative way for a long time.
And an outstanding planner is key in making these correct decisions, because they have the experience.
We have the experience, and when you turn on the news or you go to the internet, you're going to find a lot of different opinions, right? And it's very easy to get caught up in all those different opinions, get confused, and paralysis by analysis, which means that you don't do anything.
Right.
And for some people, not doing anything might be their actual best strategy. If it means don't do anything versus going all to cash, when the market's down 30 to 40%, that might be a good strategy. But I think having an intentional plan where you have confidence in the decisions that you're making short term are going to benefit you long term, I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, but everybody's plan is different, so you need to really sit down with your planner and talk about it.
Yeah, everybody's life is different, everybody's goals, objectives are different, so their plan needs to reflect what it is that they're actually trying to accomplish.
Okay, one of the things that people are really enjoying, especially from your company, is the classes that you offered, but you're changing up the way classes are being offered because of what's going on right now in the world.
Yeah, information is absolutely key, and this is the absolute worst time to stop spreading the valuable information. So even though we can't gather in social places for our classes like we used to, we're going to offer those online. So right now we're working on the technology to be able to offer our classes online. For individual consultations, we're going to be offering those online as well. So you can still be in the safety of your home and still get the valuable information that you're going to need to help you through this type of rough time.
Okay, and is this where people need to follow along to get the latest information?
Yeah, all you have to do is go to merkleplan.com. What you're going to see out there right now is our classes, but we're working on a strategy to change that information. So if you go out there tomorrow or...
Just give it a day or so,
yeah,
right?
just give it a day or so.
Because this is all unfolding as we speak. You know, this is ever changing.
Things are changing by the minute.
By the minute.
So we have to be able to adapt to that change, and one of the ways we are adapting is by offering this information through the digital format. So stay tuned, go to merkleplan.com over the next couple days, and you'll see the different offerings that we do have.
And you still offer the same classes? Are you going to offer like the Journey to Retirement, Boost Your Retirement, and Women in Retirement?
Yes, we'll offer the same classes, that same type of retirement planning information that is intended for those within 10 years of retiring or already retired. It'll just be in a different format than the classroom setting.
Okay, well, you've been on top of things, and we do have to give you credit where credit is due over the last couple of months, and we saw this coming, and you've been spot on every time, and we know you're going to be spot on this time as well.
Yeah, the planning is the most important thing, so make sure you have your plan in place that's customized to you, and we will get through this.
Yeah, Loren Merkle, thank you so much.
Example of strong leadership in that area.
Right there, this guy right here.